So in this video, we're going to go over some of the best things to do when you are visiting Houston. If this is your first time, please subscribe and enjoy the video. So the first place we have here is the Post. The Post is actually right in downtown Houston, and it was actually an old building that recently got renovated into a food hall and overall event space. They have concerts here, and they just have so many different kind of events. If you go into the food hall, you get food from all over the world. Everything from West African food to Vietnamese food. You just got food from all over the world here. Literally dozens and dozens of restaurants and food stands here. You have this iconic neon staircase, and it's just a great place to walk around and go people watching. If you go up the stairs or the elevator, you get up to the deck. And this is a very popular place that people go to take pictures of the skyline. So definitely a place worth checking. Next up, we have the Avenida district and Discovery Green. This is on the other side of downtown, the east side. It's very modern and clean. And there's so many different events here. So obviously it's in the convention district, so there's a lot of conventions here, such as Comic Palooza and so forth. But you also have the Toyota Center and Minute Maid Park, so you have the NBA and MLB. And then you have a lot of hotels, which in turn have their own events and conference centers. And even Discovery Green here has a lot of events. So there's always something going on here. And it's a beautiful district. It's very well lit up. Like I said, it's very modern and clean. You always see a lot of people walking around here. There's a lot of festivals in the park. And this is one of the places that I definitely recommend for a good pedestrian experience in Houston. I highly recommend checking out Discovery Green and the Avenida district. Depending on the time of the year, you might see ice skating at the park, or you might see a little water park. So it's a great place to take the family, and a nice little family oriented part of downtown Houston. It's great for everybody. Now next is Main Street, which in contrast to the Avenida district is in the older part of downtown Houston. This is the older part. This is the historic part of Houston, so you have the oldest buildings in the city here, and in particular, it comes to life at night. Main Street is the main club hopping, bar hopping place in Houston, so if you're into nightlife, this is definitely a must. On Main Street, the clubs range from many different kind of aspects. There's, for example, some Latino clubs with a lot of reggaeton music, but there's also clubs that cater for the American crowd. There's just such a huge mix of very different spots here. So the best way to experience it is just to walk around and go to whatever catches your interest. A lot of these places just look really nice. So yeah, there's a lot of food options here as well. So if you're in downtown Houston and you're hungry and it's late at night, this will be your best bet to get a bite to eat. There's a lot of food here. So next on the list, we have the River Oaks District and the Highland Village. These are two adjacent shopping areas, both with different kind of feels. So on here, this is River Oaks District. Obviously, as you can see, it's a ultra luxury shopping destination. They have all your big brands like Christian Dior, Hermes, and Cartier, and so forth. And obviously, not everyone wants to shop here or has the money to, but it's a great place to go people watching, and you have some of the most expensive cars. So you're always seeing very expensive cars, and it's just an interesting place to walk around and just maybe do some window shopping. And then next you have Highland Village, which is a much more accessible shopping area. You have stores such as the Apple Store, Lululemon, RH, and it's just a place that's very nice looking. It's obviously decorated with palm trees, so it's really pretty, and just a much more accessible place to check out. And now the last shopping place that I'm going to mention is the Galleria, which is just down the street from Highland Village and the River Oaks. And this is an iconic Houston mall. You go in here and you have all of your big luxury brands, your Louis Vuittons, Gucci, Christian Dior, and so forth. But it's just an iconic building. It has the glass roof and it has the ice skating in the middle. So if you're into ice skating, this is obviously the place to come. But it's just a great place and it's a piece of Houston history here. Definitely worth checking. Next up, we have Chinatown. I highly recommend checking out Chinatown, as you would think it's a very cultural experience. But specifically the Dunhuang Plaza it's just one area of Chinatown, but there's just so much to see. You can just walk around here and you'll have many different shops and restaurants and arcades. I definitely recommend coming at night because the area really comes to life with all the karaoke bars and the late night eats. So just so much to do. Highly recommend checking out the Dunhuang Plaza in Chinatown. I mean, you just walk around and you have bakeries, boba shops, so many different Chinese businesses. Definitely a place that you must check out at some point. And speaking of food, Houston is well known for its culinary offerings, so trying out some of Houston's food is definitely a must do. Some of the more obvious ones are, for example, Texas barbecue. Get you some brisket. That's definitely a must do. And then, of course, Tex-Mex food, which includes fajitas and things like that. And then another one is seafood boil, in particular Fiat Cajun crawfish, which is considered like the Houston style seafood boil. Definitely something that you must try. I also recommend checking out kolaches, which is Houston's signature pastry. You find these in donut shops everywhere, and it's a Houston staple. Another place I want to mention is Meow Wolf, which is an interactive art museum located near downtown. It's definitely something worth checking out. It's unique and just something interesting to check. So the next thing is the Houston Museum District. Now this is a beautiful neighborhood. Obviously, as the name suggests, there are a lot of museums, and the one that I recommend the most is the Houston Museum of Natural Science. It is definitely one of the best natural science museums in the country. But the Houston Fine Arts Museum is also very nice. Honestly, if you're a museum buff, you can just take a look at all the museums and see which one you like the most. I really like the Asia Society one, for example. But they also have a Buffalo Soldier, a health museum. They just got a lot of different museums, so you can really just go and check them all out. Also, the Houston Fine Arts building is beautiful. Now, within the Houston Museum District, you have the beautiful Herman Park. Herman Park is a very big, beautiful park. It has so many amenities in it. It has like a Japanese garden, and it has so many other things to see. There's even the Houston Zoo, for example, is on the garden. All of the museums are actually on the northern edge of Herman Park. They have a outdoor amphitheater. They have just so many different gardens, even have a golf course. And if you go to the north side of the park, there's like a sky walkway where you walk around and make your way up to the top. There's just so much to see in this park that you could literally spend an entire day here and see a bunch of different things, more than a day for that matter. Now, just south of Herman Park, there is the Texas Medical Center, which is the world's largest medical center and an entire neighborhood at this point. There's not really much to see for a visitor. However, there is one attraction which is very much worth checking out. Here we have Rice University, which is one of the most beautiful university campuses in the world. I mean, it is a beautiful university campus. It kind of has like a medieval castle kind of structure, and it's just amazing architecture here. And not even just the architecture. As you walk around, it's very forested. So there's a lot of trees, and it just feels like you're like almost in a park, like in a forest. And it's just, like I said, a beautiful campus. Rice University is one of the top rated universities in America. So you you're definitely getting experience here walking around, this beautiful campus at a prestigious college. So next up we have NASA. A trip to Houston is not complete without at some point visiting NASA. So Houston is obviously known as the Space City, so this is the place to check out the city's space history. When you go to NASA, they have a lot of guided tours and they have some Apollo era shuttles on display. But what you really want to go to is the mission control room. This is where all the actioning was happening. If you've ever heard, Houston, we have a problem, these are the people that they were communicating with. So go and check out NASA. And just a couple minutes from NASA, you have the Kemah Boardwalk, which is next here. The Kemah Boardwalk has an amusement park in it, but it also has obviously a boardwalk, which is part of the Galveston Bay, which extends into the Gulf of Mexico. If you're into amusement parks and roller coasters, you'll definitely enjoy Kemah. But if you're not, there's also another side to Kemah, which is called the Lighthouse District. It's literally right next to the amusement park, where you have a lot of shops and restaurants and a lot of places to just sit and enjoy the water, kind of watch the water hit the rocks, which is really relaxing. It's a great place to kind of relax after having gone to NASA or offering a little bit of an escape from Houston. Next up, we have the Astrodome area, which is home to the Houston Rodeo, which is the biggest event over here. If you're in Houston during the month of March, it's a great place to go and get some old school Texas culture. But it's also a great place to just go outside and walk around and enjoy the carnival, enjoy the fairgrounds. There's a lot of rides. And if you're here during football season, you can go and catch a Texans game. It's a cool place to go tailgating for a Texans game and experience the fairgrounds that way as well. So either way, a great place to go depending on the season. Next up is Memorial Park, which is a beautiful, heavily forested park right in the middle of Houston. It's heavily forested, so if you go there, you wouldn't even know you're in Houston. Compared to Herman Park, there's not that many amenities here. They do have their amenities such as the Arboretum, but overall this is more of a relaxing park rather than a park to really go see some attractions. But as mentioned, it's in a heavily forested area, so if you're walking around, you do get close to nature, which is great. This park is about getting close to nature. Up next here, we have the Buffalo Bayou area of Houston. The Buffalo Bayou is a long river that goes all the way throughout Houston. It goes from downtown, goes all the way through uptown, and keeps going west and east. This section here is East River, which is like one of the newer sections, but also one of the prettier sections that's still not complete, but it's already looking really nice. This area actually has its own like riverwalk kind of thing with some restaurants, and they even have a roof deck park that you can walk all the way up and get a really nice view of, as you can see. So if you want to experience Buffalo Bayou, this is one of the better places to do so. So there you have it. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and tune in for the next place, and write down in the comments what place I should tour next. Thank you all for watching.